So the first episode is Bart Gets an F, which I think is pretty stock standard in terms of season 2. It's not a magnificent
Really?
episode. It is really great.
I think it's magnificent. This is your list. This isn't my list. I can't influence you too much.
The fact that it has decided that The Simpsons is going to be so much more emotional and dramatic, that this is the season of heartfelt stuff, of making you cry, it is really great. It's not the most heartfelt episode that exists in the season, but I think that it certainly is a magnificent episode. It's a really good season opener.
I would have put it in S tier. Next one.
Bart gets hit by a car. This is a really weird one because it combines some of the heartfelt stuff that we're used to, but also it's a lot quirkier. And in some ways it seems to still have some of its season 1 baggage.
Does it?
Yeah.
Really? It doesn't really remind me of season 1 that much. This one reminds me more of the later seasons. This is the introduction of Lionel Hutz and the Devil.
True.
It's lots of great
In some
stuff
ways
going
it's
off-
kind of a
going on.
premonition of season 3 and 4.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's full of fun stuff.
If the final act is so different to the second act. The second act is so silly, but the third act is heartfelt.
Oh, right. Actually, yeah, it does fall apart when it gets heartfelt. They didn't know how to end the episode, so Jim had to bail them out at the end. I love you more than ever, which
Yeah.
they thought was kind of strange. Why does he love her more than ever? Yeah, kind of falls apart at the end. They didn't know where to go.
Okay, so we got... This is just S tier. It is...
Needs no explanation.
It needs no explanation.
Larry King. It's got Larry King.
It works. It's so special because it hits on so many of the really deep qualities of the human condition and what it's like to have a family and to be loved and to be scared of your mortality. And it does it so well. And yet it's very funny when and it's only funny in the appropriate places.
It's also got George Takei,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He's great.
They got the Simpsons flashback episode.
The first flashback.
I
a
struggle.
classic.
I
It's a
struggle
classic.
to remember
It's a
which
classic.
ones are which.
Well, this is the high school one. It's the first one, so it's telling the first story, which is how they met. You know,
Right.
why she fell in love with Homer, because he tried to trick her into falling in love with him. He's quite creepy.
Right.
But then he saves it by comparing her to Yoda
Yeah.
or something like that. It also has the first appearance of the wise guy, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah.
In the past.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yes.
then
Yes.
he's still around in the present.
Yeah. He's immortal. Homer versus Lisa versus the Eighth Commandment.
There's Cable. Homer steals Cable. This is
Yeah,
a great
yeah.
one. This is fun.
Yeah. Yeah. This is good.
Yeah.
There's no like breathtaking moments that like there's no game changing, but it's really solid stuff, and it's the sort of stuff that The Simpsons loses when we get into the seasons of the teens, where they just sort of forget how to just make good stock standard sitcom comedy, and I feel like this is kind of quintessential sitcom.
Quintessential Jim Brooks.
Yeah. Principal Charming is another S tier. It is so emotionally impactful. Two miserable, confused, desperate, lonely people trying to find happiness, and for a brief time they seem to be finding it with each other, and it doesn't work out, and they break up, but not in a miserable way, but just because they realize this is not going to work. It's it's fantastic. It's one of the greatest episodes of the whole show.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then we've got Danny DeVito. It's a very strange episode where Herb doesn't pay attention at all to Homer's work on the car. It's all his own fault.
Yeah.
he gives Homer carte blanche, and He only has himself to blame.
It's such a weird episode.
It's a very strange episode,
And
but it's really funny.
because there's so many elements of it that don't make sense within the course of the rest of the entire show. It's so odd, and I don't know how to explain it within the relation to anything.
But Danny DeVito is really funny.
He's top tier.
When he says, I'm just silent because of the emotion.
Yeah.
It's great.
Bart's dog.
The H, that could stand for Herb. Homer's pretty stupid by this point. It's season 2, mid-season 2, and he's already just about, as stupid as he'll ever be.
Yeah. Bart's dog gets an F.
This is the weakest episode of the season.
Yeah.
But it's got Tracy Ullman.
Yeah.
Who birthed The Simpsons.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, in a way.
And she's doing a Thatcher impression.
Yeah. There's not much to say about it. It's just...
The first act's pretty funny, with the dog destroying everything.
Yeah.
Homer
yeah.
and the cookie.
Yeah.
The cookie, I like the cookie bit when he buys the free samples of the cookies and then all that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's the quilt. The quilt's quite a strange thing. That was a thing that they somebody said to put in the quilt. Was that Jim? Did Jim tell them to put in the quilt? There was something about the quilt. There's a thing to do with the quilt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And now we have perhaps the single greatest episode of the whole show.
Well, you need to put it first. You got to put it above. So you got to put them in order.
I'm not. No. I don't want to.
In the category. Yeah.
No. This is it. This is
really
the greatest episode
not
of the
Lisa's
show.
Substitute.
Lisa's Substitute is
Better.
is not far behind.
It's better.
But this is fantastic. This is just all Jim Brooks all the time, just making you cry and making you love and.
I don't remember them mentioning much about Jim in this episode, actually.
The spirit of Jim. The spirit of Jim, where it's about. This
could have been Sam Simon. Yeah, how do you know? It's not.
Yes.
It could all be Sam Simon making you cry.
Yes.
Give Sam some credit.
Brush with Greatness.
You love this one.
I love this one.
It's got John Lovitz as the art teacher.
Yeah. There are a couple of episodes in season 1. There's the Brush with Greatness, and there's Mr. Burns Runs for Governor.
That's my favorite.
They're both episodes where Mr. Burns is an asshole, and Marge gets her revenge through subtle means. It's sort of like you don't get you don't win the cash prize, you don't get everything you want, but you stick it to them and you make sure that you have a moral victory at the end.
When you put it that way, this episode is just a rip-off of the Burns Runs for Governor episode. They just did the same plot twice in the same season. Hey, you're skipping ahead. Wait. That's the best episode of the season.
We'll talk about it.
Fish.
All right, okay, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we're not ready for that yet. Come on, Lisa's Substitute.
Lisa's Substitute is fantastic. Just breathtakingly great.
So fantastic, you didn't even bother to rewatch it for making this tier list. You rewatched all the others. You didn't watch Lisa's Substitute. It's too good, you can't watch it.
You don't need to.
I think you do.
It's just so magnificent.
So you're not going to put it in first place? Or second place?
There.
Okay.
Oh my god, another magnificent... Can you
mention anything that's magnificent from it?
Well, I think that the third act is so sad, but so... So...
Do you like when he writes on the note, "You are Lisa Simpson"? Do you know whose idea that was?
It was Jim or Simon?
It was Jim.
Right.
It was Jim. He wrote it out and handed it to them in the room, and they were very confused. I'm Lisa Simpson? They didn't realize what he was doing. But then they messed it up. Jim never forgave them because they forgot to put the exclamation mark in. It was meant to have it was meant to be, "You are Lisa Simpson." The whole episode's ruined. It's not the greatest. It's a failure. There you go.
So, the third act where you've suffered some sort of terrible problem, but you find a way of rebuilding, and it gives you a hopeful ending that something good will come from this later on. Old Money does this. You feel so much love and hope at the end of Old Money, and Lisa's Substitute, the way that it's resolved, is really magnificent, and it just makes you feel so warm inside. And it's the same, I guess, with the
Blowfish.
The Blowfish
Except
one.
the Blowfish one, there is no explanation as to why Homer survives. He just does.
Yeah.
They,
I mean,
they gave him a diagnosis. He was going to die, and then he doesn't.
life is like that.
It is.
Sometimes cancer just goes into remission.
It's not a plot hole.
Sometimes you just get hit by a car.
Okay.
So,
Simpson and Delilah. This is a
Simpson-
great one.
oh.
It's got our favorite guest character in all of The Simpsons, Carl.
Carl.
Not to be confused with regular guest character Carl.
Yeah, that was weird.
We'd already introduced him by this point. Why did we introduce a new friend for Homer whose name is Carl? But he's played by that guy with that voice.
Yeah.
That amazing
yeah.
voice. What's his name? Forgotten his name.
I don't remember.
But he's
his name.
great.
He
He's
was in
fantastic.
Independence Day.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. He's really good. And he's amazing in this. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's the first gay kiss on network television, possibly. They said that they thought it was
Yeah.
on prime time. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. And one of my favorite lines, I just came by to say goodbye to the gals in the typing pool.
Yeah, that's great.
But this is another type of episode that The Simpsons have. Sometimes things are sad throughout the episode, but then at the end there's some sort of redemption. And there's a lot of episodes that go in the opposite direction. You get given a whole heap of happiness, and you don't know what to do with it, and then it gets taken away from you.
Yeah.
And there's a few episodes like that. That when Homer becomes a baseball mascot, and when Bart becomes the I didn't do it kid.
Yeah.
You get given this magnificent gift, and you've got no idea what to do with it, and so you spoil it, and then it gets taken away from you in a cruel, ironic twist. Next, we've got
All right, this is the worst episode.
the
of
War on the Simpsons.
War of the Simpsons.
War of the Simpsons.
This is the marriage counseling one. This is the worst episode of the season.
Do I remember
by
this?
Far. You watched it. Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, that bit that's in the thumbnail is pretty good when he has that
Oh yes,
fantasy.
yes.
That's the bit. That's the highlight. It has Matt Groening's least favorite moment in the season, where the big fish winks at the camera. He's in pain from that.
Yeah.
No, it's a bit of a weaker. It's funny how a lot of the episodes about Homer and Marge falling out tend to be weaker episodes.
Yeah.
Even though this is is this the first time we actually do it, and it's still kind of weak. It always ends up being a bit of a tropey kind of cliche.
It becomes a real problem throughout the 90s, where Homer and Marge get into fights and break up, and then he doesn't fix himself, and then she forgives him for no good reason. And
Well, he does give back the fish.
yes. and so the whole thing just becomes really toxic. It's like, sure, your husband is an idiot and incompetent, but there's nothing you can do about it, so you just have to forgive him and move on.
There is a real highlight in this episode, though, which is the parody of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf,
Yeah.
which we only found out about after watching Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf a few months ago. And
Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah, and there's the
Yeah.
other couple at the counselling we just do the whole movie in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I bet that flies over most people's heads.
True.
What that's
true.
about.
Yeah.
All
Okay. 3 men and a comic book.
Yeah, this is the first Radioactive Man episode, and so they get the first issue of Radioactive Man. Yeah, this is a fine episode.
Yeah.
It totally is a fine episode. This has the introduction of your favorite room in the Simpsons house, the
Yes.
Rumpus Room.
Oh, the rumpus room.
They're fine.
Yeah. So, I mean, the premise of the episode is good, but it's just not executed in an interesting way. And when you compare it to the Titans that this season has, it's just sort of a...
Well, just because of the season it's in, that it gets into a lot. If it was in season 14, it would be in the goated category.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think it should go into good just for the rumpus room. All right, next one is Blood Feud.
Blood Feud. Oh my god, what's that one?
This is the one where they save Burns with the blood, and then Homer feels he doesn't get enough of a reward, and he writes him that letter, and then Bart posts the letter,
Right.
and they get a tiki head in the end.
Yeah.
That's all I remember. It's a bit of a weird one. It goes in some strange directions. But
Yeah.
we all remember the tiki head. The animators remember the tiki head. The tiki head has been in the basement ever since. Isn't that something? Hey,
Yeah.
what? It's better than Three Men in a Comic Book.
Yeah, I'll put in fine.
Okay. All right. This is S tier.
Oh, yep, this is S tier.
What you just a minute ago you were putting it in the good category.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No,
Good
it's
tier.
S tier. It's the best. Why? Why would you do that? It's the best episode. Mr. Burns is never better than in this episode, except maybe in Who Shot Mr. Burns. It's fantastic. It's the music is incredible. This is just before Alf Clausen joins the show, and this is one of the last scores with the original composer. It's got a really different vibe about it, and yeah, I don't know. It's fantastic. Visual aids. I like the bit when he says visual aids are so helpful.
Yeah. It works on so many levels.
Yeah.
It is a terrific political satire.
It's the best political satire they ever did.
Yeah. And the way they deal with the family relations.
Yeah, it's got everything. It's got
One of my favorite lines, Mr. Burns, it appears that your campaign has the momentum of a runaway freight train. Why are you so popular?
Yeah, I love that. It's fantastic. Then we have Treehouse of Horror,
Oh.
the first ever.
Oh no, I don't know what's in.
But it's the first one, so it's so special just because it's the first.
What
So
are the
it has
story-
the Raven. It has the Raven,
The Raven, yes.
and it has they're in the treehouse
Yep.
because of this Treehouse of
it
Horror.
is actually a Treehouse of Horror.
It's the only one that is actually a Treehouse of Horror, and there's the Raven. Did I say the
Yes.
Raven? What are the other two?
Treehouse. Is that the one we do the alien invasion?
Oh wait, we have the How to Cook for 1,000 Humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bit is amazing when we do the whole with the dust. There's more space dust on this book,
Yeah.
and you have James Earl Jones as the chef.
The first one.
And then this is the one with they have to stay in the house,
Oh yes, the haunted house.
which kills itself rather than living with the Simpsons.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I think this is tremendous. And the Raven segment is such an unusual, bold thing. You could never imagine them doing that in later seasons, and it's really fantastic. We just do a genuine. We just do Edgar Allan Poe. We just do it genuinely.
Yeah,
There's not
yeah.
really any Simpsony-ness. It's really genuine.
Yeah.
And, I love the introduction of Kang and Kodos. I love that whole section. Yeah, it's really funny. I mean that's just a Twilight Zone sort of episode.
Well, yes.
You know?
Yes.
The real monsters were humans.
Yeah. Never watched Twilight
Yeah,
Zone,
but you
but
still know.
I understand the concept.
Yeah.
That
It's all based on irony.
irony about not trusting your first impressions, challenging your bigotries, challenging your pre-assumptions.
Which is always good to do.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, here we go.
Yeah, I put this one in the meh category, but I think you like it more. I don't care for this one.
I really like it. It's
I don't care for the telling the story. He's in the bar telling them the story, which was put in at the last minute by Jim.
Yeah.
Because he felt they needed to do that, and they didn't really agree with it, and I don't really agree with it. I don't really understand what's the point of doing that.
Yeah.
But you like it. You think it makes sense to be telling it as a story.
Yeah, because so okay, I'll put the case forward for you. So Homer becomes famous, but he doesn't become a jerk. At no point do you feel unhappy about his fame, because if he became famous and just started becoming selfish or a prima donna, then you would start wanting him to fail. And
he fails through no fault of his own. It just turns out that what made him great in a small town just doesn't really cut it.
So he could never have been famous in Capital City because he just doesn't have what it takes to be famous. So the entire odyssey to Capital City is doomed to failure from the start. And so there is a kind of tragic hopelessness to the whole thing. And the fact that we know he fails right from the start means the whole episode is layered in this sort of tragic hopelessness.
Okay, that's an interesting argument. That's the best argument I've heard for, but I still don't know if I agree with the structure of that episode. And I can't really think of much that really makes me laugh in the episode.
Oh, my favorite joke is when they are in the change rooms.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And Homer gets to be introduced with the Capital City mascot.
Yeah, Capital City Goofball.
And
He's a character who hasn't returned much over the years.
And Capital City Goofball gives him this wonderful speech, and it's just honest and heartfelt.
Yeah.
There's not a hint of jealousy or nastiness.
Yeah, I like the Capital City Goofball.
And then Capital City Goofball walks away, and he hits his head on the light. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's
the jokes that catch you off guard.
It's pretty good. It's definitely a subtler sort of sense of humor. You couldn't imagine them doing a moment like that in later seasons. They wouldn't do something that subtle. You need a bigger joke than that.
Yeah.
It's an interesting moment. It almost feels more like a live action sitcom, this episode. I mean, a lot of season 1 and 2 have that sort of feeling, but this one in particular, it doesn't feel very like a cartoon. It feels like just the sort of subtle humor that you would just do in live action, you know?
Yeah.
You could just do this as a live action, right? Whereas Bart the Daredevil, which is coming up, you couldn't do that in live action, you know?
No.
That's too outlandish, even though it's, down to earth by later Simpsons standards. But this one just could be live action.
Yeah.
So then we have Dead Pudding Society, which is that's one you really love.
I really love this because
it's great with Homer and Ned. Their relationship in this episode takes a new level where up till this point Ned was he wasn't much of a character. He's just this guy who has it better than Homer. We hadn't invented the whole religious aspect of him yet, but in this episode we really develop the animosity between those two, and it's not just one-sided. Ned really gets into it as well, in a way where later on he'd really try to hold it together. This episode really doesn't make sense with Hurricane Ned.
Yeah.
he's letting his anger out in this episode.
Yeah.
This is a different Ned. And it has your favorite line of all time. The Mountbatten joke.
Yes, the Mountbatten joke.
You like what they say in the commentary more than the line. In the commentary where they say kids love that Mountbatten joke. You like that even more.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and the kids having to pay for the toxic attitudes of their parents. That's a theme that resonates with you.
Yes. The fact that
the kids break the cycle.
Yeah, it's all about breaking the cycle of toxic parenting. Yeah. I really rate it.
Yeah, maybe it should be an S tier. Okay. Then we have Bart versus Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Didn't you have a big problem with this one when we watched it last time?
I have
a classic episode. You really hated it, didn't you?
So the thing is, I was watching it in the wrong way.
Oh.
Because the first act is just a setup for the events in the rest of the episode. And so you really don't need to pay a lot of attention to the first act because it's the second act that really matters.
And what was the way you were watching it?
I was watching it that it was mostly the first act and the rest of the episode was sort of wrapping up or filler.
Interesting.
And so I found the first act really awful. It was not funny. It was not heartfelt. It was just sort of annoying. And then I thought, this episode is awful.
Well, didn't you dislike the attitudes of the episode? You thought that Bart didn't deserve the way he was treated, and you thought that Lisa was being too much of a spoiled brat.
Oh yes, yes.
And you say
yes,
you
yes,
went on
yes,
a whole thing
yes,
about that.
Yes. Just awful contrived drama where reality is flexible just because we need to get to a certain end result. But then I realized this is actually an Odyssey story. This is about Bart going through the pits of hell in order to get to an end result, and that is really how it should be judged.
We should have called it Bart's Odyssey.
Yeah, we should have.
Bart versus Thanksgiving is the first act.
Yeah.
We already did Homer's Odyssey in the previous season.
Yeah.
So you're putting it that high up, even though you dislike this one. So we have Bart the Daredevil. Didn't you also really dislike this one, even though it's a beloved classic? Do you really hate the ending of this episode, even though it's a beloved ending? It only gets better when they add the extra animation later in the clip show, and we get to see even more terrible injuries. The more pain, the more funny it is.
Homer's injury, which is pointless because he never did anything to suffer it, is kind of the forerunner to what the whole show will just be.
Yeah.
Where it will make a lot more, like, everything will make a lot less sense. Everything will be a lot more painful and just stupid and annoying. And so, and until the point where Homer gets his head clamped down on a bridge.
That's a pretty bad point, but I think this is great. I think this is fantastic. It's a great episode.
So, in the end,
I would have put it higher than that.
Yeah.
All right, then we have Itchy and Scratchy and Marge. It's the last one.
All right.
So this is where
the goofballs win.
Yeah, the goofballs are spoken. We quote that all the time.
Yeah.
Every time we see someone on the internet getting dunked on by hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Every time someone gets ratioed, we say, the goofballs have spoken.
Yeah. Well,
and this is the introduction of Alex Rocco as the guy who runs
Roger
Myers Jr., who runs Itchy and Scratchy, which we only realized just last week that he's only in a few episodes of The Simpsons. I always thought he was in more, but he's basically not in it after the Poochie show. So, yeah. It's a great one, isn't it? It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a great satire of
purity culture, political correctness, and media literacy.
And this has the ending with the Michelangelo's David statue, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I told you she was soft on full frontal nudity. And
yes.
And all the bits when she goes on Kent Brockman's show, those are all fantastic. How can you be against this thing, but not against this thing? Well, I guess I can't. It's really great how petty she is at the end, and also with Dr. Marvin Monroe. Surely this is one of his greatest moments when he says, "One of my favorite things is to get a bucket of popcorn and watch Itchy and Scratchy and laugh myself silly. What the hell is wrong with that?" Yeah.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Is this the one also where Krusty can't stop laughing when the camera goes in it? Which is a side of Krusty we never saw before or since, that he's just always on. He can't get enough of himself. It's pretty adorable.
Yeah.
It's not, again, the later Krusty, who is such a sad sack, would never be like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's the end of season 2.
Yeah, I would put it in S tier.
Wow.
I put a lot more of these higher up.
Wow. That's your freedom to wish that. But there we go.
Yeah.
5 episodes that are basically 5 of the best episodes of the whole show, followed by a whole pile of absolutely magnificent gems, followed by just a few...
I can't believe you put The Way We Was in fine. That really deserves to go up higher. Can't believe you did that. And a few stinkers. Just a couple of stinkers. Well,
the strike rate is incredible.
You're trying to make 22 to 24 episodes a year.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to have a couple of stinkers. It was the nature of television back then. They said to Jim, we have to knock the episode count down. They went down in later years because it was murder on all of them.
Yeah.
on the animators and on the writing staff that was just burnt out,
Yeah.
So they'd employ the holdovers in later seasons where they would work on a couple of episodes over the summer.
Well, there we go.